Fremd's feelings this week.
Perfect.
I wanted to talk about this week exactly that. I know that we made a little bit of light heart of the situation of Nunes just punching Peña off her feet. But I remember texting you that night when we were watching the fights, like, that fight, I don't know what it was, but it showed the human spirit, the will to survive, the will to win, the fight, the human resolve to just face adversity at its right there in front of your face. There were a million times in that fight that Juliann Peña could have quit. She could have quit. She could have faked, the knockout a little bit harder. Whatever the case is, she could have stopped. That chick, it doesn't matter. I've told you this, and I heard it there. Man or woman, that is one of the toughest human beings on the face of this earth. People get hit with adversity every single day of their lives. Every single human goes through that. But this is a different type of experience that's literally in your face, something you have to deal with. You can't think of any other thing. Someone who is facing an adversity like a bill or a wrecked car, something like that, you can kind of put it on a back burner. This is right in front of your face. This is like, hey, you either quit now or you keep going. And to see the blood coming down her face, fighting for every submission, fighting for every position like that, there was not a single moment where Juliann Peña was like, I give up. I'm giving up on myself. And that, to me, just made me go back and kind of just fall in love with the whole idea of fighting again. Because when you do it for so long, it does get monotonous in a certain sense, and you have to find more reasons to keep going. Right there was a huge drama show, as Golovkin would say. A big drama show. Big drama show. Just the human spirit willing to face all that and keep going, never giving up on yourself. The same thing with Moreno. It wasn't as bad of a beating, but he was down on the scorecards. He was getting pieced up. He had the wherewithal and the will to fight through that adversity, going through that adversity. As Factory X would always say, we're running to the storm. We're going to go run through the storm. And I just find that so beautiful. And if you can't fall in love with fighting like that, I don't know how else to romanticize it. It's just the perfect display of human spirit.
Yeah, I mean, for all those reasons that you said right there, Juliann Peña has earned my respect in
100%.
every sense of the way as a fighter in there. And, I think that maybe she goes back, gets another couple of wins, maybe fights somebody like a Ketlin Vieira, someone who she can get some confidence back. There is the potential that there is a trilogy there simply because of the fact that they're 1-1 at this point, and that could be another big payday for her. But that's not a rematch also to kind of pair off of that I think is immediately warranted off of that. Amanda deserved it because of her body of work, right? And the first fight, I mean, she did have her moments initially until, all the reasons why we said going into the fight that Amanda ended up, falling in that. But, in this case, there's two different ways, too, when you have a grudge match situation, too, that you would ideally want to go about it, and we've spoke about it as well. If you have a grudge match with someone, you either want to spark them and completely obliterate them, get them out of there, or you dominate them and just completely ragdoll them, dog walk them, make them say uncle, whatever you want to throw the analogy out there for of asserting dominance for the entirety of a contest. And Amanda said after the fight, whether or not it was because she just didn't do it or just the way that it played out, Amanda said, oh, no, I didn't want to finish. I wanted to know that I could go out there and dominate her for 25 minutes. Whether or not that's the case.
You guys want to hear something real funny before we go to the next segment? Kurtzy texted me. I don't know how many vitamins he had in him at the time, but he was like, she definitely threw that. She bet on herself to go to a decision. She threw it. I mean, he was tinfoil hat and everything. He was on it.
First and foremost, I was not alone in this thought process of that being the potential case and situation. She had 5 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds alone. She had the back. She had the crank. It wasn't a completely sunk-in choke, but there were multiple moments throughout the contest where Amanda Nunes completely had the opportunity to put the foot on the gas, stomp on the throat, and finish the fight. She did not do so. Me, along with, I'm not going to throw their names out there because I don't want to attach them to it. But
This nonsense.
they're high-profile people, for that matter. They're people who matter in this sport and in this space that I was with.
Curtsy hangs with the higher ups. I'm down here with the slums.
Hey, you know what? We're having a conversation for a reason. But, like I say, all three of us were like, man, like, what is happening here? Like, there has got to be something behind this. But I digress. We will wrap that segment up.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps us continue to produce this original MMA content and bring it for you every single week. Tune in to the MMA Plug presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m.
or live stream at DenverSportsBetting.com/radio.